All right, level 3 here. Another key concept that we didn't include yet. It's called the quotient property of radicals. Quotient means division, property of radicals. Okay, so pretty simple. It says the square root of a quotient, so the square root of a quotient, equals the quotient of the square roots of the denominator and the numerator. I flipped those around, but basically it just says this here. Look, you got the square root of a fraction. I can just go ahead and break that up to the square root of the numerator over the square root of the denominator, as long as those values inside are equal to or larger than 0. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Like this. Look, the square root of 16 over 25 is the same thing as the square root of 16 over the square root of 25. And so I can simplify the square root of 16 to 4, the square root of 25 to 5. Simple. Okay, let's take a look at this example. All right, so let's see, square root of 13 over 100, I can write that as the square root of 13 over the square root of 100. And so the square root of 13, well, that's an irrational number. There's nothing I can really do about that. I can't even break it down any further, so that stays the same. But the square root of 100, well, that's 10. And so there's my answer. Let's take a look at this example. Okay, so instead of having one big radical, I can split it up and say, hey, there's the numerator and there's the denominator, both being square rooted. And I say, well, the square root of 7, that's irrational, and I can't really break that down any further, so that stays the same. But this bottom one here happens to be a perfect square, just like it was above here, and then I would just write as x. And there's my answer. Okay, here's guided practice problem. I only have one for you. It's a pretty simple concept. Try it out. And now that you tried it, you should have written down square root of 1 over the square root of y squared. Hey, square root of 1, that's a perfect square. 1. Square root of y squared, bam. Done and done. And I mean done.